Hello, this is going to be Dark Souls 1 All Bosses. Do you want to introduce yourself, Kata?
Hello, I'm Kata.
Yeah, he's the current world record holder for All Bosses, so... the route I'm going to be doing is called ESM Malus, which is a route that is a variant of an older route called Malus Draker, but with the ESM glitch, which we'll explain when we get there. So, I guess we'll start in 3, 2, 1, go. So is there anything you want to explain from the get-go, Kata? That's basic.
Well, I guess we're gonna be starting as Hunter, or rather Alibaba is starting as Hunter, and he's picking Master Key as his gift at the start. Master Key is gonna allow him to access Blighttown through the shortcut, through New London Ruins, which is gonna save a considerable amount of time. And then furthermore, he starts as Hunter so that he's gonna be able to obtain the bow right here in the Asylum, easing up some of the routing.
Yeah, the reason we get the bow is we want to shoot a couple of things to save time, but we also want to do an important glitch called the move swap glitch, which we'll explain rather shortly. It essentially allows you to get the moveset of your right-hand weapon to your left-hand weapon, which can be quite overpowered. I'll explain... Oh, sorry.
Go on.
Yeah.
No, you go on.
I'll explain the technicals of the glitch later, so you can say what you were going to say.
No, I was just gonna point out that a lot of times you're gonna see runners kill Asylum Demon here with the bombs, but obviously we don't have them. So what Ali's gonna have to do is just fight him normally. And there's a cool little strat he's gonna try to do, and that instead of just falling off and doing a plunge, he's gonna try to do a jump attack. And if he does it properly, he's gonna be able to deal basically double damage with that one attack. Finish the fight in quite some speed.
Yeah, the main reason for that is because when you do a jump attack, if you do it correctly, usually towards the center of Asylum Demon's head, it will hit him with the jump attack plunge and with the normal animation plunge you get on him, so you deal a bit of double damage.
Right, Ali also picked up the other hunt items here. That's the short sword and the leather shield. Leather shield's gonna be it's a very decent shield for a starting shield, and the short sword he's not gonna really deal with for too long.
Alright, so we got the double hit. So now he's down to pretty much below half. I'm going to go for a fast strat here. Hopefully it works. Should be fine. There we go. So that is the fastest way of killing Asylum with melee.
Yeah, well done.
The safer option is to just go under him. But the one I just did looks cooler and it's faster. So now we're going to be going to the Undead Burg to kill the Taurus Demon. We're also going to purchase some items from the merchant there that we'll use for some glitches later.
So you will notice Alibaba blocking almost all the time while running around. That's because in this game you cannot rebind the jump from the sprint button. So in order to get a roll out of a sprint, Alibaba's going to be blocking, and that way he's going to be able to do that.
Yep. And I should probably mention that sometimes you'll see me toggle when I'm about to sprint, and I think that saves a couple of frames, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's a very small time save coming from the fact that if Ali toggles as he's about to start sprinting, the acceleration's gonna be shorter, virtually, getting him to top speed faster.
Yeah. And also if you block or toggle out of animations, that also saves a couple of frames. Alright, so I'm going to buy the bottomless box. Oh, if I can talk to him. I'm going to buy the bottomless box, the rapier, and some bombs. Now, the rapier will be for the move swap glitch, and the bottomless box will be a glitch for a glitch called quantity storage, which we'll also explain when we get to that point. It basically lets you dupe items.
Yeah, and then the firebombs are for multiple reasons, multiple things in the run.
Yeah, we're going to be mainly using them for Hydra and for a trick called Togi Bombs later on. So now we're going to pick up the Gold Pine Resin, which is an item that applies lightning damage to your weapon. And we're going to be using that at 2 different places, one of which will be for the Taurus Demon. Barrel jump, by the way.
Yeah, Taurus Demon is weak to lightning, so it comes in very handy. You can get it there. And he also got into that door through the master key that he picked up as a starting gift.
Oh damn, got the animation cancelled. So, Taurus Demon, we do a run and attack and an R1, 2 R1s, and then we're going to stagger him on this attack, and he's going to be pretty much dead.
Yeah, nicely done. That was very good. So in this game, not only that you deal regular damage to the bosses, but you also deal damage to their poise, and certain bosses can get staggered after several. When the limit is reached for the poise damage, and Ali's gonna be able to use that in several other boss fights throughout the run.
Yeah. So now we're going to shoot down the Hellkite Drake to get the Drake Sword, which will be the first weapon we're going to move swap actually for Iron Golem. Got the good RNG as usual. Yeah, that's actually a really spooky part because you can fly up and it can be quite finicky. Can get quite messy if he does that.
Yeah, what you basically need to do is to start quitting out, and the thing is obvious because we already used GPR once. You only have one more attempt to retry, so it can definitely be scary.
Yeah, and you can also die if you're not careful, which is unfortunate. So now we're going to be doing a glitch called the Sense Gate Skip, and the way it works is we're going to lure an enemy down onto the stairs, and we're gonna do a riposte in a certain area, which will allow us to enter a death cam, which is a state where it looks like you're falling to your death, and the game essentially thinks you're dead, and when you're dead, it unloads certain assets like gates and whatnot. So what we can do is we can just run through the Sense Gate, quit out, and then we've skipped having to ring the bells to get into Sense Fortress. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Ali's also gonna be riposting with the fist, so that in case it doesn't work first try, you can do it again.
Yeah, you can riposte with the rapier, which is safer, but I find it's a bit more of a finicky setup than with the fist. You can.
So now basically.
You can,
yeah, go on.
He can chase you down here. He might actually do that because my stamina management was bad, but we'll see. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, obviously Ali is making sure that he can use this bonfire later on. Unlike in DS3, you actually have to sit at the bonfire here to have it accessible later on. And you cannot sit or rather rest at a bonfire when the enemies are close. And obviously, you cannot quit out in this state because if you do, you lose the death count.
So now we're going to run through Sense Fortress, which is actually one of the more chill areas of the game. Actually, there's not really that much that can kill you. So do you want to explain the move swap, how the move swap glitch works, then, Kada? Since we're going to be doing it soon.
Right, of course. So, as Ali mentioned before, it's going to allow us to transfer part of one weapon's moveset. In this case, it's going to be the rapier he's currently wielding in the right hand to a different weapon of choice. The way that works is the only weapon in this game that you can move, two-hand in your left hand is the bow. So what Ali's going to do is he's going to get stuck in an animation. For him, it's going to be a jump roll. He's going to queue up two-handing the bow, but before the game executes the command, he's going to swap out the bow for his weapon of choice. This time it's going to be the Drake Sword. Now, because the bow doesn't have any information about jumping, plunging, it's the same thing, jumping, rolling, and running attacks, it's going to take information from the right hand instead.
Yep. And we will be doing it later on with a weapon called the Dragon Tooth, and normally that weapon's running attack is extremely slow and long, but the rapier, which is a double-hand attack, or double attack, it will allow us to do a very quick double attack with that heavy weapon, which will deal quite a lot of damage, as you'll see in a while.
That is correct, because you do get the double hit from the right hand, but you deal the regular damage on each of those takes of the weapon in your left hand, the stronger weapon that you want to be using. And at the same time, you also still deal the poise damage, so that's how Ali's going to be able to hopefully stun lock some bosses later on.
Yeah, so as Kat explained, we're going to store up the two-handed of the bow, and then at a specific time during the animation, we're going to two-hand, or equip the Drake Sword in that slot, and hopefully it will work. Nice. So now you can see the Drake Sword is two-handed in my left hand, when it normally shouldn't be. And as you will see on the Iron Golem, we're going to be doing the rapier running attack on him. for the reasons Kato explained. So, this is actually one of the bosses I really don't like with Drake's Sword, no RTSR, because it's quite annoying for me, but I practiced it a bit, so it should be fine.
Yeah, what Ali wants to do in this fight is basically hit him under his knees. There's 400 damage that needs to be dealt for him to stagger, and then another 200 to actually make him fall off. And if he does the fight correctly, what's gonna happen is that he's gonna stagger him at the perfect angle, and then he's gonna fall off the bridge.
Yeah.
It's, as you can see, like, he's quite a beefy boy. It would take a long time to kill him normally.
So I'm going to be taking the Peach Bonfire here. Normally, if you were doing this route optimally, you would skip the bonfire, but if you die, then you have to run all the way back from Undead Parish, which is really annoying and slow. So I don't want to risk that.
Yeah, as well, this bonfire doesn't lose as much time, so it's pretty much a no-brainer for a marathon setting.
Yeah. Yeah, it only loses like 20 seconds or so, it's not too bad. So now for probably the run through that a lot of people hated during their first playthrough, Anno Londo. It's not that bad in speedruns actually. It can be quite annoying especially with the Painted Guardians, but should be fine.
Yeah, it depends on what route you're doing, obviously, but you know, bosses, you're usually full HP, so it's not a big deal to run through the rafters.
Oh no, I jumped early. It's fine. Yeah, that jump's a lot easier than it looks, by the way. Alright, I'm gonna be a Peach and heal twice here.
Yeah, it's a pretty good choice.
So yeah, these Painted Guardians can actually snipe you here on the ladder, which didn't happen this time, but let's just say some good runs have been lost to that in the past. Yeah, I'm totally not speaking from experience. I'm gonna try a swag jump here. Nice. So that's called nano jump. I think it saves probably about 2 seconds at max, at most. But it looks a lot cooler than what you normally do. But it is a bit harder.
I'll be surprised if it's even a second that it saves. But
yeah, but
I mean,
it's super
swag, of course, yeah, and also the Painting Guardian can get in your way, and then you have to like running attack to push him away, and that is obviously a time loss.
So I'm going to be taking this bonfire later for Priscilla and Gwendolyn, but I'm also going to pick up this ring for the ESM glitch, which is a very technical glitch. Let's just put it that way for now. So I'm going to level up 20 endurance, 27 strength, 20 because reasons, and 27 because that's the minimum to two-hand the Dragon Tooth.
Yeah, the values that you see by your weapons in the inventory, those are actually for one-handed usage. So you have to like subtract a certain portion of that, and you can still use the weapon that way if you two-hand.
Yep. Yeah, so a lot of time we just get minimum requirements for weapons to two-hand. I'm going to try this jump here. So if you jump before the elevator's finished moving, it will actually spawn back at the bottom, which means we don't need to send it back up later. And I got it, nice.
Nice, good job.
Yeah, pretty smooth so far. Unfortunately, I've jinxed it now.
That's
so
only one that's coming up, no big deal.
I mean, this part here can be quite annoying. Because these people here, these creatures, they can throw lightning spears at you. And it's not as much of a problem with this route, but in RTSR routes it is actually really annoying. Especially routes when you have low health. So you just did one there. so now time for the Silver Knight Archers there. They're actually not that bad because they'll either fall off on their own or we can use the Swag Drake Sword R2 to make them fly off. Which I may do.
Yeah, certain weapons in this game have special abilities that you activate with the R2. Yeah, like right here. Pretty good.
So I'm going to take this bonfire for safety. ONS is probably one of the harder fights in this route. Mainly because you don't have... The Dragon Tooth is powerful, but it's not that powerful yet at +0. So you don't deal too much damage. So the fight can either go... can go pretty bad sometimes.
Yeah, you're of course fighting two bosses at the same time in phase 1. Ali's gonna be going for the Ornstein kill in phase 1 because it's much easier to just fight Smo alone in phase 2 compared to Super Ornstein. So that's kind of a no-brainer. So the main strategy revolved around phase 1 is gonna be trying to separate Ornstein and Smo as much as possible. And then depending on the RNG that you get, you're gonna go to different sides after you enter the fight. And then also depending on what Smo does, he's either going to try to bait out some attacks from him and then finish Ornstein, or it can get a hell of a lot messier, and that's why we take this bonfire, yeah.
So yeah, the opening you want is the opening charge, because you can get some quick hits in before Smo gets to you. Sometimes you can actually finish them off sometimes at the start if Smo backsteps twice, or does good attacks. We'll see what happens. Oh no. Okay. So that's a good opening. Ah, nice.
Yeah, that was very smooth. So now just phase 2. So you saw that Ali was able to just basically stagger lock Ornstein there. Ornstein can still like jump away, which would basically give him iframes and he wouldn't get staggered.
So yeah, the Dragon Tooth has great poise damage, so as you can see we can just stun lock Smo here.
Yeah, again, Smo can jump away, but even if he does, it shouldn't really be an issue. That was a very smooth fight, good job.
Yeah, that was nice. So we're going to be shooting Guinevere here. Well, A, because it's faster, and 2, because one of the bosses in this game named Gwendolyn, there's only 2 ways you can get to him, and that's either if you collect a ring, which is pretty slow, or if you kill Guinevere, and then you can go straight to him. Alright. So now we're going to be going to do the Gargoyles, who are... They're basically an early game boss, but because we have the Dragon Tooth remove swap, they pretty much just get destroyed.
Yeah, Ali's also gonna go to Firling first with a warp, because obviously now we got the Lord Vessel from Guinevere, so we can finally warp between bonfires, which is gonna make a lot of our traveling faster. First he goes to Firling, and then to 100 Parish. This basically saves you a warp, or rather some sit-down animations.
Yeah.
It's really just a small optimization, because after Gargoyles we need to go to Blighttown, and you obviously go to Blighttown from Firelink.
Yeah, and also for Stray Demon as well. Hey, this guy was nice for once.
Oh yeah, Stray Demon first, yeah, that's true.
Alright, so now for the infamous Hollow Room. That was smooth.
Yeah, that was very nice.
So, now we're going to be doing the move swap of the ladder animation. Oh, never mind. That's unfortunate. I haven't failed that in a while, actually.
Yeah, so what you saw there was
what?
him being a little bit too fast,
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah, if you go too fast, you will actually attack. It's alright. It's no problem.
Yeah, like he queued up the attack, or rather the two hands correctly, but then he swapped out the weapon too fast.
Yeah. So as you can see, they get absolutely destroyed by this. Oh no!
Took a hit. It touched you. Got a hit in. Ripped the no-hit run. Anyway, so obviously you are not supposed to be here with this weapon, because Gargoyles should be dead before you get anywhere near Arnolondo. It should be like one of the first bosses that you really kill.
Yeah. Yeah, on a normal casual playthrough, they're usually about the third boss you'd kill about. So now we're going to be doing the Stray Demon, which is basically an Asylum Demon reskin, but with some AoE attacks added and extra damage.
Yeah, he's like a spellcaster, basically.
Yeah.
He's very chunky, though. Like, he's gonna take a lot of hits to kill.
Yeah, he also hits like a truck as well if you get hit by him. So you pretty much get one shot by all of his attacks at this level.
That is correct. That's why also Ali activated a shortcut, so he could get to Stray here with the crow.
Mm-hmm.
One thing we haven't mentioned is confirmation box duping, which Ali has done with the Homeward Bone. So Homeward Bone is the item you see on the bottom left that we can use to get ported back to our last bonfire, which obviously is like a checkpoint kind of. And what you can do is you can, kind of similar to moose swapping, you can queue up using the Homeward Bone when you're stuck in an action. But before the game executes it, before it gives you the prompt, you drink an Estus or just use a consumable. And in our case, it is the Estus. And then the prompt's gonna show up. You press yes. It's gonna teleport you, but instead of consuming the Homeward Bone, it consumes the Estus charge.
So yeah, if you were to look into your inventory after you dupe with an Estus, you would only have 9 left instead of 10, because you do consume the Estus.
Yeah.
Alright, so this fight can be annoying, depending on what he does. We'll see though. Because as Kata described, he takes a lot of hits to kill.
Yeah, we are still at +0.
Oh, nice, I died. That's fun.
Oh, that was still a hitbox there?
Yeah. I thought it was gone by then.
Yeah, so what you saw there is like classic Miyazaki bait, where after he does his bat slam, you see like particles sprinkle around, but there's no indication of the fact that there's like any hitbox anymore. So it feels like you can go in, but actually there's still a hitbox around him when he's on the ground. And Ali read into it just a little bit too early.
Yeah.
And because he was sprinting at the same time, he got counter hit damage or instability damage.
Yep.
And yeah, it managed to kill him all the way.
Yeah, that's only about a 2-minute time loss. It's not too awful, I suppose. But normally when the particles or the dust goes away after he lands is when you can go in, but I think I went in just a tiny bit too early, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, another like minus thing is rather another negative is that you drop into this fight, so you always start with like half health, even optimally, right? And normally this is like a shockwave, so it doesn't deal full damage, but yeah, like I said, if you get counter hit, then it still kills you.
I died again, what the hell? This boss is my nemesis, I swear. Alright, I got a dupe now, but that's okay.
Yeah, we didn't lose that many souls. So obviously in this game, if you're not familiar with Dark Souls, the counter on the bottom right that says 0 right now, that's our soul counter. And it's like a sort of currency that we use to level up and to purchase items. And of course, then there's the soul items that you get from bosses. When Ali was going to the Strafe for the first time, he used the soul of Smo that he got from Smo, from ONS. And he got like 12,000 souls in the bottom right, the currency. But now we've lost it because we died without picking it up. So that means he's going to have to do the confirmation box dupe on another soul item.
Yeah, I'm going to do it on Quelaag Soul. It'll be slow, but it's not the end of the world. Alright, 3rd time's the charm.
Hopefully. Also, Dragon Tooth is really big, as you can see, so even its hitbox, like, it's adequate. And that's how Ali actually managed to hit the wall there, unfortunately. And when you bounce off of the wall, you get stuck for quite a while without being able to move.
Ah. Oh, I got a hollow. That's nice.
That's another thing, that these hollows, these storage hollows that are following you, they can jump into the fight and make it kind of crazy.
Ah, nice. It's not giving good RNG, unfortunately.
That was really close with the R1. Holy moly. So basically, because Ali needs to do a running attack, actually looks maybe a little bit deceiving sometimes. Good job, dude. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's like this boss fight. First of all, you want to not fall asleep because it takes so long, and second of all, it's just it's kind of difficult sometimes. You're mid-rolling as well, so it's like you don't have as much mobility as you would want to. It's definitely tricky. So don't worry about this Black Knight. He's a chill lad, yeah.
Alright, so now we're going to kill off Lotrek because he's actually the true villain of this game, believe it or not. It's actually for a different reason, but I'm going to leave it as that. It's actually because we need the ring, but also if you when you ring both the bells, he kills the fire. Well, he kills the Firekeeper in Firelink, which means you can't rest a Firelink. Or I don't know if you can warp to it, but I know you can't rest at it.
You can warp to it, yeah. You cannot use it.
Yeah, and that's problematic because you do want to rest at certain points. Alright. So now we get to enjoy this long elevator ride without doing anything. It's fine. So yeah, we're going to buy the Heavy Soul Arrow from Rickard as well as the Sorcerer's Catalyst. Because for the late game, we will be doing the late game with Sorcery, or with Dark Sorcery even. And we need this spell for a couple of times, actually, we need the spell.
Well, you mainly want it for Moonlight Battlefly, who's a boss who, like, fighting him melee takes a long time. Because you need to wait for him to get close.
Yeah. So that door right there was one of the main reasons we got the Master Key as our starting gift. Because normally, the normal way to get to Blighttown is really slow. There are a couple of other ways, but they're not really applicable in this route. Because you can't, you can't do meme rolls and you don't have full control either, unfortunately. Alright, doing the peach drops. Normally you would do a set of plunges here to get to the bottom of Blighttown, but let's just say I've had some bad luck with them recently. So now we're going to be doing Quelaag, and Quelaag actually has quite a bit of health as well, a bit like Stray Demon. Like, even with the Dragon Tooth, it takes quite a while to kill her, like compared to a normal weapon. Let's see how this goes.
Unfortunately, here you can heal up, so it's like you're full HP, and then you won't die in one hit. So this fight is like a little bit safer than the straight fire. I think got a good opener as well. Should be able to punish it with 3 running attacks. Yeah, so you see that like she's almost dead, and then a good follow up. He was trying to go for the butt there, because if you attack the butt, you can force out a fart animation, basically. And then you can attack her in the front while she's doing that attack. He didn't get it, but no matter. Finished her right off. That was a very good fight.
Yep. And we're going to be taking this bonfire, because we want to walk back here later, so...
We also ring both the bells, because we actually need front in this route. We're gonna be, well, scamming him a little bit.
Yep. So now we're going to be doing Priscilla. And the reason we do Priscilla this early is for... actually, I need to dupe, actually. So we're going to be picking up an item in the Painted World called the Red Sign Soapstone, which is for a glitch called ESM, which I've mentioned a couple times. Not sure if you want to explain that, Kata, because it's quite a bit technical.
Oh, like, sure. It's, I think we should get to it a little bit later, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree. Yeah.
I'll try my best. Let me get that.
So yeah, normally I wouldn't need to dupe here, but because I died and lost my souls after dupe, unfortunately. That should be enough.
Yeah, so what we're gonna be leveling up is endurance to be able to fast roll with the Dragon Tooth.
Oh no, warped to the wrong bonfire. Normally you don't have the Analondo bonfire here.
Yeah, it's because we took the liberty of the peach strat when entering Analondo, so that can definitely mess up the menuing. Now we're still gonna need to like warp to that bonfire later, but the way we would get it is anytime you exit Painted World, it actually sets your last bonfire to the Analondo bonfire, so technically you never have to rest at it, and you're still gonna be able to access it later on.
Yeah.
So now we're also running on the elevator that Ali jumped off of and made sure that it stayed on the bottom. Otherwise, he would have to pull the lever and wait for the elevator.
Yeah, it saves like 12 seconds or 10 seconds, something like that. It's quite cool. Yeah, quite nice even.
We can also enter the Painted World now. This is something that we forgot to mention. Because after Stray Demon, we picked up the Peculiar Doll, which is like in our starting cell. It's literally the start of the game that we went to when we dodged that Black Knight. And this is how you enter the painting.
Yeah. Yeah. All of this basically ties into doing one specific glitch, basically. And the reason why the order is done as it is. Ah, those hollows were nice for once. What a surprise. So yeah, as I explained, we're going to be picking up the Red Sign Soapstone, and then we're going to be doing a little drop down onto the bridge, which lets us get to Priscilla a bit quicker. Because I think normally you have to get the annex key to get to her, but we got to skip to avoid that.
Yeah, this is actually a prototype level that Miyazaki and his team developed in the very early stages, but they were really satisfied with how it turned out, so they really wanted to make sure that it ended up in the final game. That's why it's like such out of place looking location. Why you find it inside of a painting, but the fact that it indeed is a prototype level will be showcased right now with this very simple skip.
Yeah. Yeah, it's also one of the easiest. I don't know why I tried moveset there. It's fine. So yeah, you just drop onto an invisible ledge, and then you drop onto the bridge that leads to Priscilla.
That is correct, which saves a bunch of time, because there's actually quite a lot of things to do and quite a lot of things to go through in the Painted World.
Yeah, it's quite a lot. Alright, so I'm going to be shooting Priscilla with the bow, because once you actually deal damage to her, she disappears, and you wouldn't know where she is if you didn't do this. But I got the lock on meme anyway, so it's fine. Oh my god, these are ones today, man. Oh my god.
That's the one thing I wanted to mention, is that in this game, in order to actually get the running attack, you have to be sprinting for several frames, right? You cannot just, like, as soon as you start sprinting, if you press R1, it's still gonna do a normal attack. So you need to be sprinting for a certain period of time.
So now there's two glitches we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing the quantity storage glitch and the ESM glitch. So the quantity storage glitch is we're going to buy 999 arrows from Andre, and then we're going to store them up, and then we're going to do the dupe for Homeward Bone, but we're not actually going to dupe it or use the bone until we've until we're talking to Andre, and then we're going to switch to another tab, and what that will allow us to do is it will allow us to buy 999 pikes, And what it will do is it will take the statistics or the properties of those 99 pikes and put it into one massive pike, which means that our inventory is basically screwed up because of how heavy this pike is, which means that we can do... basically, it allows us to equip... actually, I don't know if you want to explain the ESM part, Kata, because I'm horrible at explaining it.
Yeah, alright, so all of a sudden you see that we have the red tearstone ring, right? So this is because we indeed do have a thick pike. You might be wondering why we don't just use it to deal damage with. That's because actually the way this game calculates weight is it takes the weight of the item and then multiplies it by quantity, which is kind of weird because in this game, arrows, for example, don't have any weight, but they did have it in Demon Souls, so I think it's just leftover like that, but that's just a theory. So it only weighs 999 pikes, which there's another leftover mechanic from Demon Souls, and that's the inventory limit. So with this extremely heavy pike, we got to 10,000 weight units, which is the weight limit to your inventory. You're never really going to get to that casually. However, in Demon Souls, there's a ring called Ring of Herculean Strength. And in that game, playing around how many items you can have in your inventory is a normal game mechanic. And this ring increases the amount of items you can possess. So then if you get past the normal limit and you try to unequip the ring, it gives you a dialogue saying, hey, you can't do that because you'll be overweight. Right? So except for extreme fat shaming, it also gives you this dialogue, which also stays in DS1. That was the dialogue with 2 question marks. One at the start, one at the end. And using that glitched menu that ensues after that glitched dialogue, which is a leftover from Demon Souls, we can actually equip items of one kind to a different slot. So what Ali did, he equipped his red sign soapstone, which we picked up in the painted world, to his ring slot. And because the red sign soapstone and the RTSR share the same ID number, it acts just like it was RTSR.
Alright, so what I did there was... normally when you drop off a cliff or something in this game, you cannot do anything. The game just doesn't let you control your character or anything. However, if you plunge off something, then you can actually roll during the fall animation. And if you roll at a specific time in some places, the iframes will actually cancel your death. So that can be used in some places, just like there.
Yeah, now Ali's killing the Hydra. You might be wondering, but Hydra is not a boss. Well, you need to kill the Hydra to access the DLC, which has 4 bosses. So that's why we need to kill the Hydra first.
Yep. And we also need to save Dusk, because you need to speak to her in order to get the pendant, in order to enter the DLC.
One thing I think we should point out is also what actually RTSR is, if you're not familiar with the game. So you see that Ali's character is glowing right now. Basically, RTSR is a ring which, if you're under 20% of your health, maximal health, it will double your attack rating. But because of how damage is calculated in this game, it's going to actually double and sometimes even triple your damage, depending on the situation.
Yeah. So now we're going to be doing another version of the quantity storage. This is the reason we bought the bottomless box. We're going to put the souls, the Solar Priscilla and the dragon scale there. And we're going to be doing the same thing we did for the pikes. But for some reason, if you have the items in your bottomless box, and then you do the same thing we did for the pikes but with Frampt, and you do it on an item, and then you feed it to him, it will actually dupe the item instead of actually using it or feeding it to him, which is quite interesting.
Like it does still feed it to him, but you don't lose them, yeah. So that way, not only we can dupe items, but we can also feed him a lot of items at the same time. And obviously, like Lord Souls, he will give us a lot of souls for it. So yeah, that's a lot of souls in the bottom right corner if you watch now.
Yeah.
Don't show this to your local tax authorities.
Yep. That would not be wise. And yeah, we can also do it on upgrade materials. So now we're going to be doing a bunch of levels. With the mouse, of course, to be optimal. So yeah, with those souls we can basically just become completely overpowered with the best stats.
Yeah, Ali's still like leveling. So for example, he levels up strength. That's for some breakpoints for damage. Then obviously endurance to have a lot of stamina. He leveled up some vitality. That's for some RTSR setups. He levels up 99 intelligence because he's a smart boy, and also because obviously that will boost the sorceries later on. And one thing that you might not know, he levels up dexterity to 45, which is a cap for how much dexterity actually increases casting speed.
Yeah. So the cast speed is going to be a lot faster than what it normally is. Yeah, it's quite sad because one king is almost possible in this route because of that. Yeah, it's one dark beat cast away. Alright, so now we're going to be doing going through the Duke's Archives, because this is where you kill. Basically, at the top of the first elevator, there's this golem, and once you've talked to Dusk, if you kill that golem, he will drop something called the golden broken pendant. And if you go back to where we saved Dusk with the pendant, a portal will appear that will take you to the DLC.
Right, go through the board.
Yeah, Kata's actual nemesis.
Sometimes, yes.
Alright. There's also going to be another, probably the biggest skip in the game actually, after we kill the golem.
Yeah, definitely. In this round, definitely one of the biggest.
Yeah.
Besides, I guess, Sense Fortress.
Yeah.
SGS status, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll explain. Now, basically, normally when you play through this area, you go to Seif, and basically he's immortal, so you can't do anything to him, so he just kills you. And then you spawn in a prison, and you have to unlock a bunch of doors and run around a lot, and then run to the crystal caves. But on this elevator, if we drop onto this area here, and then roll onto one of those balconies, or one of those things, then we can actually skip all of that and save like 6 minutes or something crazy like that. Which,
yeah, it's a very, very neat parkour skip.
If it works, which it might. Nice it did. Yeah.
Good job.
The optimal version too. I never,
Yeah,
never
I
mind.
mean,
Never mind. I jinxed it.
Oh yeah, he got in the way.
Yeah.
Nice backstab. That's what he gets for blocking us.
Yeah. Normally, when you land on the railing, that doesn't happen.
It's weird. It can still sometimes happen because basically the enemies in this game don't just see you, but they hear you as well, and it's a little bit different if you land on the railing. But also, it might have just been weird pathing that we had after that. It's kind of hard to tell.
Alright, I'm gonna go for the plunge here in Crystal Caves.
Calm down, you got this.
So yeah, what I did there is instead of going down the ladder, I slowly walked off the edge of it, which let me land on a ledge, which not only skips that ladder, but also sets up your health perfectly for RTSR here.
Yeah, because falling in this game, it deals damage to you with not a flat value, but with a percentage value of your max health. So like we can always use the same setups for fall damage.
Oh no! What the hell is that, man? I'm gonna quit out here. I don't know what happened there.
You jumped too far left.
Yeah, I know I did, but that was very interesting actually. I think I was trying to be too peachy with it actually. It's fine. This'll work though. Nice.
Alright, good job. Not concerned at all.
Yeah, this place always really scares me in marathons.
Yeah, I mean, alternatively, you could also like not take any damage before and then try to set up RTSR off of clams and then get eaten twice.
I mean, if you wanted to be really optimal, then you would just do the slope quit out, which saves quite a bit of time. But it's quite a bit precise, I would say.
So here, there's gonna be clams right before C's fight. What Ali's gonna do is he's gonna do some precise pathing, which hopefully is gonna work out. He's gonna try to bait some attacks so he slows them down.
Well, that might.
This is like Monka Omega pathing.
That might be fine actually.
So the thing is, obviously, the fog gate is not there yet, and the fog gate spawns once you enter the fight. But the fog gate spawns like very far, so there can actually be a clump stack in your fight here. And of course, because you're like very low on health, that can be very, very annoying. And then as he entered the fight, Ali shot the crystal that makes him immortal with a 3-soul arrow, just destroyed this man's whole career, and then showcased the power of DT plus 5.
Yeah. That's probably the main reason why I chose to do this route. Because it makes all the fights extremely free. Alright, so now we're going to be doing fighting everyone's favourite dog, Sif. Sometimes he can be a pain, but in this route he dies very quickly, so it's not a problem.
Also, Ali got hit on purpose again by the consistent knight to set up RTSR. This is like taking damage from enemies to set up RTSR can be annoying because depending on what the levels that you have, the higher soul level you are, so the more stats you have overall, you also gain like passive resistance, so then the enemies can deal less damage to you, and it can be a little bit tricky sometimes to set it up. That's why what you see, what he did, is he used the ring that we got from Hydra to half in its HP, right? Because the Dust Crown ring gives you more charges for your spells, but at the same time, it puts your health to 50%.
Yeah, so that allowed us to perfectly set up Artisar with the extra full damage. Now for this fight.
A 360 spin, then jump away. Another 360 spin. Yes, punish that, very nice. Yeah, that was easy.
Alright, so this is the boss we're doing now, the Moonlight Butterfly, is the main reason we bought the spell earlier from Rickard. Because Moonlight Butterfly is a boss that he stays in the air for a very long time before you can actually, he comes down to the ground and you can hit him. So you need to kill him while he's ranged to be fast. So the best way to do that is with a spell like this.
Yeah, I could alternatively also like dupe firebombs or something and then chug it at him, but it's with the stats that we have, heavy soul arrow without RTSR like is not very good, but because we have 99 int and also good casting speed, it's actually kind of calm.
Yeah. So now we can just chill.
Yeah, it takes a while because the butterfly has iframes at the start of the fight.
Nice RNG.
Yeah, that was very good. Also, what you see us doing all the time is Ali is trying to warp out of the boss fight as early as he can, but if he warped out too early, then the game wouldn't actually like count the boss as dead, right? Like we need to see the victory achieved message. We need to see that we've gotten the souls from the kill. But at the same time, you don't want to wait too long, because if you wait too long and you get the victory achieved message and then you start warping, it like interrupts your confirmation box. So that would be like extremely slow.
Yeah. Because even though you've killed the boss, if you warp out too early or if you quit out, then he stays alive and you have to kill him again. Alright, let's see if this plunge works a second time. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, that was definitely a good idea to quit out there, yeah.
I'll try it once more and then I'm just going to take the ladder. Oh, this will work.
Supreme ladder.
Yeah. Alright. So now we're going to enter the DLC, which is normally one of the more monka shaky areas, but because we deal so much damage, it's actually not that bad anymore. Or at least not bad in this route, I should say. Alright, I'm going to be swag and go for the arena move swap.
don't know.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
Bad idea. I was gonna say. The optimal way, like, Moosop only loses you like a second, so the optimal way to do this fight is to enter and then do the move swap there, because it takes Guardian a while to get going. You see he screams at the start.
Ah, nice. He's a lightning boy today. Hello, Mr. Lightning Boy. Oh, nice. That was interesting.
I got him though. Nice.
Alright, so there's another skip coming up called the Royalwood Skip, which in the fastest route for this you do with full control, but for this we're just going to be doing over Dragon Tooth Plunge.
Also, in that fight, normally you would like stagger him with the first attack, but Ali hit him at such a timing that he was already mid-attack, so he couldn't really stagger him out of that animation. But for Guardian and for Artorias coming up, the stagger lock is very important. And then the next two bosses are going to be Manus and Calamite, and those you cannot actually stagger. So you're going to see that those fights are going to be quite more random than the first two that we do in the DLC.
Yeah, so we're going to quit out here because these farmers are actually... They aggro quite early, so they will destroy you if you try to run past them.
Nice menu glitch, by the way.
Yeah.
From Elizabeth, yeah. So at Elizabeth, we bought the Hidden Body. That's going to be a spell we're going to be using throughout the rest of the run, because it basically reduces the aggro range for some enemies and kind of delays them. And also, the reason you can quit out and reset the enemies that way is because each time you quit out, it puts them to their default position and also de-aggroes them. So that's what we use there.
Alright. Now time for the Stennis Plunge. Yes, give it to me. Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, so what Ali is doing here, he wants to hit the edge of the elevator to be able to do the plunge again. And sometimes getting over this ledge can kind of slow you down. But yeah, I got it on the second try, very good. So this is normally a shortcut that you're supposed to activate like later on when you run around.
That's how it's
Out of range.
Spy 99.
So
I'm going to set this elevator back up just in case.
99 just because we can, because we're rich.
Yeah, this is the peachy RTSR setup. So yeah, so optimally you wouldn't take the Bonfire of Artorias, you'd already have RTSR, but because we took it, we had to reset it up.
Yeah, and hopefully the fight goes well, because it can be kind of bunker shake if it doesn't.
Yeah. Oh, very interesting. Oh, that was very interesting. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it can happen. He can meme around like that. That was kind of Monk Omega though.
Yeah, probably should have died there, but yeah.
Like you staying locked on after the first memes, that was really scary, yeah.
So now we're gonna go do Gwendolyn, which is the last Anolondo boss that we're gonna do.
Yeah, so we already, like, you might be thinking we were already here at the tomb. Why did we not kill Gwendolyn before? That's because Gwendolyn teleports away, and you want to do the boss fight in one cycle. And before then, we were still at DT +0, so we weren't actually able to, and didn't have RTSR, so we weren't able to do that. So this is like the first optimal time, really, to go and just kill Gwendolyn.
Yeah. Thank you, Gwendolyn.
Oh, that's some nice RNG, yeah. So this is the attack that we want, the arrows, because only after the arrows, if he gets hit, he's actually going to stagger. And then, yeah, with the stagger, you can just do another running attack and kill him.
So yeah, now we're going to go trigger Calamite. The reason we need to do that is because normally when you go to the area we're going to, you drop down, there's nothing, then Calamite suddenly appears and he roasts you. So then you go pick up the key to go speak to Goff, and you say, "Yo, bro, this guy's OP, help me out," and he'll shoot down Calamite for you. But it turns out you only need to trigger his flyby in order for Goff to help you out, instead of actually, getting killed. So that's quite nice. Yeah. Also, these dogs can be a real pain sometimes.
Oh yeah, they can catch up to even like when you're waiting for Calamite to fly by, like Ali mentioned, and yeah, just harass you there. It can definitely be a little bit annoying.
Yeah, even if you use hidden body for them, it's still bad.
Yeah, because naturally these like dogs are really fast, so they can just catch up pretty easily. So even if they see you late, thanks to hidden body, they're still gonna catch up.
So yeah, if you looked in the distance, you could see Calamite fly by there, and then I boned out. Also, I forgot to attune this before. Yeah, unfortunately, no meme rolls or full control, so we have to go around the DLC the normal way.
Yeah, meme rolls are a glitch that initially this was found in remaster, and by recently I mean at the end of last year, it was also discovered in PTDE that basically once you get to a very specific amount of wayload in PTD, it's actually between 25 and 25.0000088%. That's actually a number you can only get to because of how floats are coded in this game and because of number errors. You are able to chain rolls while midair, and then you can basically do a plunge without plunging in a way that you can also use the roll's iframes to survive falling.
Yeah, and you can also do a full control quit out as well, where you cast full control, and then when you land from a drop that would kill you, it delays your death animations. You can quit out and spawn where you landed.
Yeah, that's correct. Because you have enough time to actually, like, the game stores your position on the bottom, but it doesn't kill you in time yet.
So yeah, the reason we bought a Lloyd's Talisman from the Jester before was for that chest, because throwing a Lloyd's Talisman actually just, makes him go sleepy.
So that's the key to Golf, to be able to get Calamite shot down and be able to fight him. That's the only reason we went to the chest there.
Yeah. Because it is actually possible to kill Calamite without shooting him down, but it's not really possible in this route or any other route in this game, really. At least not to do fast.
In this category, yeah.
Yeah. Although remaster all bosses does it.
Remaster bosses and 100% in PTD do it, yeah. But...
yeah. It's quite cool. So the reason we quit out there was because normally on this elevator here, an enemy's on it. But if you quit out, the elevator spawns at the top, which means the enemy basically spawns in midair and he just falls to his death.
Well, that's actually, if I may, that's incorrect. So this is...
really?
Yeah, he's on the elevator, but that's not his default position. The default position is actually next to Darkbead. So if you do arrows there and don't quit out, he's just gonna die, and he's not gonna be, like, if you don't rest here, to respawn him, he's not gonna be at the Darkbead pickup. There's gonna be one less enemy there.
Oh, I see. I learned something new about this game. So now we're going to pick up the spell we're going to use in the late game called Darkbead, which is one of the most OP spells in the game. As long as I don't get destroyed here. Okay, good. So yeah, that part can be quite spooky with this health.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's two enemies there. Like I said, one of them is not there if you don't do arrows. So that's kind of nice that the pickup is a lot more chill.
Alright. Don't think I can do fog gate skip with this setup. Actually, no,
You can.
I can, yeah.
You can, yeah, if you just unequip DCR.
Yeah. Time for this kind of move swap, I guess. Easy every time. So yeah, that's fog gate skip. If you jump at a certain point there, you can actually skip past the fog gate, which saves having to go down to the fog gate and enter the fight that way.
Yeah, you can also enter the fight because there's no fall damage in this arena. Because normally you like enter the fog gate, there's a cutscene and it puts you to the bottom. There's gonna be one more instance when we're gonna be entering a boss fight like that. So Manus is a very cool fight. Let's see how he treats Ali. Okay, got the shotgun.
Ah. Interesting.
Yeah, so Ali played it pretty safe right there, which is completely understandable for Marathon. You want to play around with what Manus does for his magic attack, because he doesn't do any magic at 100% health. Only when you get him past 60%, he starts casting. And there's some neat little things that you can do to kind of manipulate what he's going to do. It's not consistent, but there's basically like sort of an answer to any magic attack he does.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the only one that loses a lot of time is the rain magic attack.
Yeah, you have to run around, but actually there's like a pretty good strat for Rain as well. But nevertheless, yeah, Rain is basically an attack that will hit you no matter what, unless you stop, unless you keep on moving around the arena. So you cannot really attack Manus while he's doing it.
So yeah, now we're going to talk to Goff, and we're going to tell him that Calamit's too OP, even though we never met him. And he's going to be, he's seen, just how OP we are, so he's going to help us out a bit.
Yeah, we threaten him with our big, giant, dildo-looking thing on our shoulder. He's very scared of that. So he shoots him down. Very epic cutscene, but obviously for the sake of speed, we cannot watch it.
Yeah. So now we're going to be doing the final DLC boss and the final part before the late game, I suppose, which is the Black Dragon Calamite, who's actually one of the coolest fights in this game, in my opinion. But he's also one of the finickiest, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely, because not only does he have a lot of different attacks that he can do and like bunch of RNG, but his hitboxes can sometimes also be tricky to kind of play around, because yeah, he's basically able to kind of move you around and put you into his attacks with his head and stuff like that. So Ali's gonna utilize his expert knowledge though, and he knows how to roll the different attacks, and it's gonna go fine, I have no doubts.
Yep. Well, let's hope. Alright.
So again, we're using the Green Blossom, I don't think we mentioned that, which accelerates your stamina regeneration, so that way you can attack more often, and you can also roll
Bad
after
RNG.
attacking. Yeah, that was unlucky. The fly up definitely. The caveat is he cannot do this fly up, where you cannot attack him
Hello.
for a while in the fight now. Now he's just confused, yeah. Grab, okay. Be able to punish that.
The AI loop, though.
Nice, that was a clean AI loop. So I don't think that really even needs explanation. Like, if you try to go to his back leg like this, he's gonna try to like turn it and attack you. But if you don't get too far in front of him, which Ali did masterfully, then yeah, he's just gonna keep on turning.
Yeah. So this is the reason we took this bonfire earlier, so we could warp here for this set of bosses. And we tuned Darkbeat, and yeah, you'll see just how powerful that is in a quick second.
So Ali also set down the bonfire because we first have to go to kill Ceaseless here in the Demon Ruins, and then we're gonna be doing a cool skip, and that's like at the bonfire there, so that's why.
Yeah. We're basically gonna clip through the floor.
Spoilers, dude. Don't tell them.
So yeah, one thing that should be mentioned is compared to the fastest All Bosses route, we don't deal as much damage with Darkbeat, but that's mainly because we don't have the ring that increases magic damage.
Yeah, that's true. The stats kind of salvages, right? Because we have 99 int. But normally, what you would want is to get the Bellowing Dragon Crest Ring, which boosts your damage by 20% with sorceries.
Yeah.
Which doesn't sound like much, but it really is a deal breaker. Yeah, well. Good fight.
Yeah, so that explains Darkbeat.
Yeah, pretty much. Can pretty much expect this for the rest of the bosses. Almost for all of them.
So what we're going to do is we're going to set ourselves up in a pretty precise way. That was a bit far, but it's okay. So basically, the way the things work in this game is when you load back into a save, certain things are deloaded. Like that elevator there is deloaded for a short amount of time. And basically, every time you load in as well, your character backs away a tiny bit when you load in. So if we do this in a specific way, when the elevator is deloaded, when we load in, we will fall through it because we're over it. If that makes sense.
It does. It's because this elevator is not part of this area. It's actually part of Demon Ruins, and this is still Kralak's domain, so that's why it loads later, and boom. So this is a hella cool skip. Also, Fire Sage is not fighting back, because he just accepts his fate, I guess.
Yeah, for most bosses in this game, the trigger for their AI is at the fog gate. But for Fire Sage it is, but unfortunately for bosses like Manus, it's actually not.
Yeah, because that fight gets activated, yeah, by you being in the arena.
Now for one of the harder fights of Darkbeat, in my opinion, Centipede.
Yeah, I need some a little bit of a precise aim here. But you're pretty much always gonna get the same opener. So it's like consistent, it's just, yeah, not that easy.
Yeah. It took 3 Darkbeats, but it's fine.
And the first Darkbeat didn't really hit fully, but the second one was very good.
Yeah. So yeah, when you kill Centipede, he drops a ring called the Orange Charred Ring, and it lets you run through the lava pretty much and take not as much damage as you would. Let's put it that way.
Not as much damage.
Yeah.
It basically makes lava from a thing that kills you immediately to something you can run over.
Yep. Alright, so I guess I'll explain Toki Bombs now, unless you want to explain it, Kata.
No, I don't.
I can totally understand why. Alright, so with Toki Bombs, or as I like to call them, the Kata Bombs, what you basically do is you stand in a specific point in the Better Chaos Arena, because normally there are 2 orb things you have to destroy before you can make your way to the boss. So what we do instead is we stand in a specific location, and we aim in 2 specific points, and we throw 2 bombs, and that will actually destroy the orbs, and then we can get to the boss much quicker than we normally can then.
Yeah, this is like the worst boss of the game by far, the most gimmickiest, and the gimmick is absolute trash, so.
Also, I apologize for the eye pain in the previous area.
What eye pain? I have no eyes anymore.
Alright. Yeah, I actually think I'll heal before I enter the fight.
Yeah, could be. Because the thing is, like, after you destroy the orbs, you still have to get to the worm, and during it, Bed of Chaos can still hit you with its Firestorm AoE attack, so it's always better in a marathon setting like this to be safe and be at full health so you survive the Firestorm.
Yeah. Oh, I got the undodgeable fire whip. So yeah, we're going to be using the bow for the aim setup. You can do it without, but it's a lot harder. Crapple Mage memories.
More like nightmares.
Yeah. We're also going to use a Green Blossom, so we regain stamina a lot faster when rolling through.
Yeah, at the same time, you cannot really like start throwing immediately. You have to wait a little bit, so that's why using the blossom doesn't use any time. It's first bomb hit.
Oh no.
Second bomb.
Okay, it's fine. I'll just quit out. That was.
Oh no.
Well then. That's a classic.
Yeah, the Kata Classic. Welcome. You shouldn't have invited me for commentary, mate.
Alright, that's actually.
I appreciate you trying to make me feel better about myself. It's all good.
That's fine. We can just do the 2013 setup for this.
Yeah, the thing with this boss fight is that they actually realized that it's so garbage that instead, if you destroy one of the orbs, like you can quit out and it's still gonna be destroyed.
Alright. So yeah, this is a 2013 strat before Togi bombs were found, and I was just to destroy this with the bow. Nice. Can still get a firestorm though. That's fine. Never mind. I died. What?
No.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Oh no, yeah.
I whipped like
Should have probably quit out like my
whip
after the first.
whipped like 6 minutes. It's unfortunate. I probably should have taken.
That's not. I don't know. It's not that bad of a run back. Because we have the shortcut here now. Because obviously Fire Sage is dead, so we couldn't do the skip again. But because we killed him, the shortcut is activated now.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry for your eyes. It's gonna happen again.
Yeah. Very unfortunate indeed. So could probably finish underestimate still though, thanks to the only being the third death.
Yeah, this just shows you though how bad like this boss fight is, right? Because you see the ground is collapsing all the time, and at the same in like weird ass random places, and at the same time, the Bed of Chaos doing this firestorm attack, is whipping around its limbs, trying to slap your face, and yeah, it's just a really unfortunate boss design that just showcases how Lost Isolate was like pretty much an unfinished and rushed out area, just like this amazing lava texture. Yeah.
Yeah, I would recommend Shades if you ever play through this area. I'm gonna take the Peach Bonfire this time, just in case. Actually, I should probably equip the ring. Almost forgot.
Another trait of this area is like these dragon bats that we're running around. Like, there's like 27 of them here or something, and it's just literally copy pasted enemies randomly put into space. It's just, yeah, Lost Isolate had a lot of potential, but due to various reasons, it ended up the way it did, and it's by far the worst area in the game.
Yeah. It is very, very bad, and I guess very interesting. There's not much to say about this area, honestly. It's just boring.
These are also not the only enemies that are copy and pasted around. You have like, if you remember the starter run, Ali killed Taurus Demon. Like, there's a bunch of Taurus Demons just copy and pasted. It looks almost like they were just testing the enemies there and forgot to remove them or something. It's quite funny. They're guarding an ember. It's, yeah. There's some cool things about this area, like the worms and walls, which you haven't seen because we skipped them with the Fire Stage elevator clip, but it's just not very good.
Yeah. Although, speaking of this area, in 100% this area is done quite extensively. So...
Oh, yeah, well, you have to kill all the dragon butts, yeah.
That's the fun part. Oh yeah, I don't even remember how many of them there are.
27, I think.
Dang, that's a lot. Alright.
It might even be 29, I'm not sure right now. Because you have Starbeat casts, and then you have Soul Spear casts. You do it in 3 cycles, you have 1 extra, so I think it's 29 actually. Oh well, no matter. It's just 29 too many.
Alright. I'm gonna peach out in this fight a bit. Oh, what? This should never happen, by the way, in runs. This is what happens when you fail Toki bombs. It's horrible.
Well, if you fail Toki bombs, you just leave your house and not play this game again.
Oh no.
Oh, you rolled over the.
Alright,
Damn,
this is a train
that's
wreck.
bad.
This is a train wreck.
Good thing you took the bonfire this time. So, in my eyes, what you should have done is after you missed the bomb, is not quit out, but like, it's not that difficult to go and throw the bomb there without getting hit by the firestorm. But on the other hand, to the people that have played this game, and even to the people who haven't, it just showcases how awful this boss really is, and the frustration that like casual players have to deal with.
Yeah. It was my mistake, though. I probably should have practiced that more.
Well, shouldn't have missed the bomb, mate.
No more.
Like, just tell the weather to calm down. It was too windy, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's something in my eye I couldn't see properly.
Oh yeah, this lava damage to our side, I mean, sounds like very probable theory, actually. Yeah, it's like in if you're on a PB pace, it is really easy to just be nervous and miss those bombs. It's not too difficult to do, but it's definitely something that can go wrong, because obviously in a speedrun you're trying to do it as fast as possible, and normally in speedruns you also only have 2 bombs, so like once you miss, you're pretty much done for.
Yeah, are you speaking from experience now, Kata?
I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, I haven't done them in a while, so yeah, feels not practiced, man.
That's calm. It's no big deal. At least we got a good showcase. This is like this part of the Azalith section is, I think, where there was a lot of potential. These branches, different connections, some shortcuts. Like, it could have been kind of Underworld style, I feel like, but yeah, it just didn't happen.
Yeah, it could have been. Same with Painted World. It was a very nice idea, but the execution was interesting. We're gonna take this real slow. Come on. There we go.
Alright, good on the branch. Now we gotta break all of these branches, hopefully not get firestormed again. But if you don't take a full hit, you should be fine.
Oh, I actually did do Firestorm too.
Oh yeah, won't go Omega yet. But we killed the worm by then, so we would have traded at the worst. Alright, that's Bed of Chaos done. First try.
Yeah.
Almost.
So now we're going to be doing the last couple bosses before Gwyn now.
Yeah, now we're basically just cleaning up everything that's left.
So now we're going to be making our way into the catacombs to fight obviously the hardest boss of this run.
The gravity.
Yeah, of course.
And pinwheel, yeah.
I'm telling you, man, timing that R2, man, it's hard.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot that ES Melis is a very cool kill on pinwheel. You guys are gonna enjoy that.
Yeah, you definitely want to stay tuned for that. Yeah, it's beautiful. Actually, something I forgot to mention earlier is in this run, if we were doing a normal run, which is done by in-game time, we would be quitting out on a lot more animations, like door animations, to save time. So, for example, here I'm going to quit out. So that's actually slower RTA, but faster in-game time. But I did it anyway because of the enemies, because they can actually block you if you don't quit out.
Yeah, I definitely want to quit out there because they can chase you when you're casting like your hidden body and stuff.
So yeah, I'm not going to do the plunge. I'm a peach.
Yeah, that's calm. It's not like it saves that much time. Oh, you're actually doing no hidden body, right? Okay.
I will need hidden body anyway. Ah, nice. Nice memes.
Also, a thing to mention is that hidden body doesn't actually work on bosses, just works on normal enemies. So that's why we haven't like used it for some fights or something. You might have thought.
Oh, actually, we might not get the R2 if I get RTSR here. I probably
Oh,
won't.
that's gonna be close.
We'll see. I did get RTSR. Whip the R2.
Well, nice. Telling people to stay tuned for that and then ruining it.
That's why we can explain what would have happened instead.
Oh, that sounds great. Yeah, please do.
In other words, this route is a meme.
Yeah, basically. So this is the some of the giants. It's quite a tricky area to navigate, but Ali's played this game once or twice, so he knows where to go, and you will see him do this like cool jump, yeah, to get the shortcut. Well, shortcut. It's not really a shortcut, but basically not have to run around the platforms. It really isn't that convoluted of an area. It's not that complex. It just seems like it because you cannot see anything. But once you know where to go, there's not that many things.
So yeah, now we're going to be doing the Nito boss fight, which is also can be bad sometimes, depending on what happens. Because he can do a scream attack, which is basically a stab through the ground with his sword, I suppose. And yeah, you have to time a roll for that, and it's with RTSR it can be quite nerve-wracking, I suppose.
Or you can just two-hand your catalyst and block without moving, and it goes through you.
I suppose you could.
Yeah, so that's a funny thing because that attack actually, like, it looks like it goes up vertically, but in the end, it's only actually a circle on the ground. So if you block with correct weapons, oh, we fell down here. That's no matter because we at least have. Oh, never mind. We don't have an body anymore.
That's fine.
Okay, let's not get wrecked.
No need to worry. I know what I'm doing.
Oh, that's just. Oh my god.
I told you this would be a train wreck.
Easy clap though. No matter.
Time for the scary part. Oh, he did a scream too. It's fine though.
I didn't get a still roll nice.
You don't have to roll that attack, but I did it anyway to be a peach.
No, honestly, it was kind of scary because you were like further away before, yeah. I respect that. So, I said that hidden body doesn't work on bosses, but it does actually work on Nito's minions. So as you can see, we didn't get attacked by the big lads next to him. And again, the power of the Arby just kind of takes care of Nito.
So now we're doing the final three bosses for Gwyn. So these are two bosses, Capra. We're going to do Capra Demon, which is normally a boss you would do quite early. But because we're doing it with a late game spell, he's going to get wrecked. We're going to do this swag skip first.
How is it swag if there are no boxes involved, mate?
Oh no, I forgot hidden body. Well, that's cool.
I got hidden body, yeah, but you should be okay. There's a or you can we can cast it now.
I got good RNG, so it's fine. But oh, nice. Well, that's cool. I can tell you that's never happened before. So all the things that have never happened before are happening today.
Yeah, Ali started casting just a little bit too soon, so that actually when he jumped towards us, we didn't hit all of the arc beats, right? Because you can see that like the, let's say the weakness of the spell is supposed to be that it splits into different particles, and it should be harder to hit, but you can hit it like still pretty easily, even on like further bosses, because they're just really, really big. But this time we missed, and Capra got a hit in.
Oh, nice! I got the game crash. The infamous,
Oh, no.
the infamous.
Yeah, the death's crash. Yeah,
So the game can actually crash there, which is
clearly.
unfortunate. I haven't gotten that in a while actually. Now we gotta wait a million years for the game to launch.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's kind of weird about this game. There's these places where it can crash. One of them is actually in the catacombs. If you were to do a full control quit out there and jumped from a bad angle, nice no logo mode mate. What the hell?
Yeah, I know. I reinstalled the game, man.
So you can crash in the catacombs, but that happens when you like hit the triggers you don't want to hit. But here in the depths, it's just random, just crashes. In game time, that's not really a problem. Oh, the jump didn't work.
Yeah, peaching out there. Those hollows can wreck you if you drop down here.
Yeah.
Which this
Absolutely.
fire guy probably wants to prove. After him getting stuck on something. It's no problem there.
It's really funny because like we pick very slim as the starting model, but that obviously doesn't change the hitbox or anything. So sometimes it will look like you can slip through some cracks and you cannot actually get that.
It's enough for Gaping Dragon. Gaping Dragon actually takes, depending on the RNG, it can actually take quite a few dark beats to kill with this setup.
Yeah, that's true because he has a weak spot. Quite a few bosses have it, but well, I guess not that many when I think about it. But yeah, with this fight, it's actually very useful to try to hit his head, and you can hit his head really easily if you get a slam attack. So it's gonna depend. And yeah, Ali got it. So he's just gonna be dark beating his small head.
Time for the final Lord Soul, which is the Four Kings. And we're going to be using the elevator to set about Isar here. And we're going to be performing another skip called the Seal Skip. Which is quite interesting actually. It's a cool skip.
It certainly is. Shows you that any character can actually swim if they believe hard enough.
So is it because of a slope quit out that Seal Skip works? I actually don't remember.
Yeah, that's a slope quit out. Yeah.
Yeah, so the way it works in this game is when you land on a slope, your death is delayed, similar to the full control thing, if I remember correctly. And if you quit out during that time, then you will actually land at that spot, but you won't actually be dead.
Yeah, it's because the game's #1 priority at that point is to get you to the bottom of the slope, and that actually even takes nice Ivan attempts as brave. It takes priority even over actually like dealing damage to you. So there's a slope there. We can land on the bottom, and the game delays the damage being dealt to us. And after the quit out, we should spawn. Yeah, very good. Then one more quit out to get rid of this death cam. And then it's just a straight line to Four Kings, which is going to be another fight that we're going to jump into from out of bounds, just like Manas.
Yeah.
And again, no fall damage taken because, yeah, the fight is basically scripted to start in such a way that you jump into the arena. Obviously not from out of bounds, but still.
And we're going to drop an item here, because where you land is actually where the second king ends up spawning. So if we drop an item there, then we'll know where to run to after we kill the first king.
That is correct. And normally, obviously, this fight is called Four Kings, but there's actually 2 health bars that are in this fight. You see the cumulative on the bottom, and then each king has his own individual health bar. That was a monkey giga dark beat.
Indeed.
Will you actually kill the second king? No, with 1 dark beat.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So now we just gotta wait for the second king to spawn because he spawns after a set amount of time. And like I said, you can deal damage to the king after he's dead, and it will deal damage to the cumulative health bar, and that's how Ali is able to kill the 4 kings in just a 2 cycle. It's very cool. If you have enough damage, you can obviously easily do it in just a 1 cycle, like Ali mentioned earlier during the round.
Yeah. So now we're going to be doing the final boss of the game, Gwyn the Lord of Cinder. And yeah, hopefully we don't get trolled by the knights. But it's actually a pretty cool area, actually.
Yeah, there's like the ghosts of Gwyn's knights that died when he lit the flame.
Alright.
Or rather, when he set himself aflame. Alright, we got the good attack from this Black Knight, just setting up RTSR thanks to him.
Oh, I got Goomba stomped. Feels good, man. Alright, so now it's time for the Militant Knight. He didn't do the attack though.
Well, the trick there really is to just do proper pathing, because he does have an attack that kind of reaches behind him, but if you don't go directly behind him, instead stay on the side, he's not gonna hit you.
So yeah,
These guys are quite the bodyguards.
Yeah, they just miss you. Oh yeah, now it's time for the sidestep Gwyn. Yeah, this will make up for the 2-shot on Nito. Or the R2 on Nito even. Look at that sidestep. Well, that ends this train wreck, I suppose.
Yeah, time's coming up very shortly.
Alright. And time. Alright, check the in-game time. 1:25:48. It's not too bad.
This was a very decent run, except for the Bed of Chaos shenanigans. It was a lot of fun.
What was the RTA actually?
132.07.
Underestimate. Feels good, man.
Yeah, that's what counts.
Right, so thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for helping to commentate, Kada.
Anytime.
So if anyone wants to learn this game or another Souls game, you can go to speedsouls.com or join the Speed Souls Discord, and there's plenty of helpful people like me and Kada who will help you if you want to learn this game or a different game. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So goodbye.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks very much for the run.